As soon as I finished speaking, the 3 archdemons completed their possession. Flesh and blood vessels began to cover the golden skeletons, quickly shaping into the naked bodies of goddesses. Soon after, magicules transformed into clothes that covered their bare skin. The growth capsules shattered, unable to contain the yauki that was surging from their bodies. That was to be expected. After all, due to my naming, they had all evolved to demon peers. They were on a completely different level than before. Their overwhelming power was fearsome, coupled with a strength beyond comprehension. This can't be. Even ex-demon Lord Carrion can't hold a candle to them. Hey, just how deep does this rabbit hole go? Thank goodness I'm not hostile to Rimuru, Dino moaned, though no one paid attention to him. Vesta, who arrived late, was mumbling in a corner by himself. I didn't see anything. Ahaha, I don't know, nope, saw nothing. None of my business. Watching him mindlessly bash his head against the wall, repeating the same words, was truly saddening. But let's just pretend we didn't see that. And just like that, we called it a day. Depleting my magicule stores was never good. I gotta be more careful. To see how much more I could spare, I should take it easy and name a couple more. I suppose it was the right choice to limit the naming to 3 people a day. With that in mind, I began to name the demons over the course of the next few days. Moss. Baron. Ajer. Esprit. Zonda. Sien. Venom. As such, I named the strongest ones first. Testarossa's lieutenants were Moss and Sien. Ultima's lieutenants were Varen and Zonda. Carrera's lieutenants were Ajer and Esprit. The demon that piqued Diablo's interest was Venom. The 3 girls alone were already a huge military force in their own right. In any case, the addition of these 3 demon peers was just the beginning. The 7 demons completed their evolution the moment they were named. They casually hopped out of their capsules. 2 of them were now demon peers. The other 4 were still archdemons. Nonetheless, their auras felt different from before. Although I couldn't put my finger on it, it felt as if their limiters had been removed. In addition, Venom also evolved into an archdemon, greatly boosting his power. I, on the other hand, was stunned to the point that my mind blanked. To put it simply, you couldn't simply find demon peers in the wild. They were all legendary demons that reigned supreme like the demon lords. Including Diablo, our nation now had 6 of them. Having this many definitely detracted that legendary feeling though. What should we do with all these new additions then? I personally wanted to recruit some people who were well versed in politics and finance. Could any of them handle such a role? I had my doubts, but it couldn't hurt to ask anyway. While I was pondering this, I still had to figure out names for the other 700 demons. Since I had made a promise to Diablo, I would see it through to the end. However, I soon became aware of an unexpected miscalculation. According to Raphael-san, I could just name the demons by consuming the magicules within the growth capsule. What a pleasant surprise. And so, with this motivating information in hand, it took me only 2 days to finish naming everyone else. The 700-strong army of demons was now kneeling before me. Most of them were originally lesser demons, but with their new bodies and names, they were able to evolve into greater demons. And just as I had suspected, regardless of where they stood on the racial hierarchy, all of them were at least rank A. We now had 700 new subordinates that surpassed rank A. While it might sound weird coming from me, this excessive addition to our military force was quite frankly ridiculous. Some of them even evolved to archdemons. I might have just overdone it again. Our new military power was terrifying. In fact, the 3 ladies from the start, Testarossa, Ultima, and Carrera, were already insanely strong. Well, no point thinking about it now. I'll just pretend like nothing significant happened. Yep, let's go with that. This was the best way to maintain a tranquil mind. Rimuru-sama, we would like to offer our utmost thanks for bestowing upon us these beautiful names and this wonderful power. Please allow us to henceforth pledge our loyalties to you. Testarossa vowed on behalf of everyone else present. I nodded, then offered encouraging words like, do your best. Now that I thought about it, Diablo should take full responsibility for these guys. I merely kept my end of the bargain. Surely, Diablo will educate these demons well, I thought to myself, throwing any notion of responsibility out the window. While Rimuru was escaping reality. Diablo. I finally understand why you revere Rimuru-sama so much. What an incredible character. Not only did he completely see through us, he even dismissed us as an irrelevant threat. Yet the ancient demon Lord Dino was so scared, he turned pale in front of us. Testarossa, Ultima, and Carrera noisily chattered. Little did Rimuru know, the 3 originally weren't planning to pledge their loyalty to him. They were only temporarily lending their strength and subordinates, because their old friend Diablo reached out to them. They all had immense longevity. They were the strongest beings in this world. And so were the demons that served them. Following human definitions, 2 of their servants were of the so-called prehistoric species. These demons had been alive for a remarkably long time and had never lost a fight. They were Moss and Varen. Moss, who was undefeated for over tens of thousands of years, was the Archduke of the demon world. His strength was only inferior to the primordials. Baron, who had lived for more than 4,000 years, was a cunning and sly marquis. He lost several times to Moss and had repeatedly reincarnated. The other servants were no simpletons either. Ager, early modern species, held the rank of Viscount. Esprit, the Viscount that never suffered a single defeat for the past 500 years. Zonda, the Baron that never suffered a single defeat for the past 300 years. Sien, yet another Baron that had never been defeated for the past 300 years. Ager was a special individual. After surrendering to Carrera's service 300 years ago, he hadn't lost to anyone since. What was rare for demons, however, was Ager's specialty. Unlike most demons, his proficiency was in weapons, such as the katana, instead of magic. Esprit, Zonda, and Sien were like Baron in the sense that they had reincarnated over and over again. They were born in ancient times and were individuals very similar to the primordials. Venom was another special individual, instead born with a unique skill. Although he hadn't been around for too long, his rate of growth was rather astonishing. These powerful entities that even excelled in the demon world were all recruited by Diablo. Rimuru knew nothing of it, and held a careless attitude like he usually did. He was even reckless enough to give them names. And as a result, the demons were reborn with power to defy the truth of the world. They became a legion beyond comprehension. They were fearsome medieval demons. In spite of numbering less than 1,000 members, this group undoubtedly could be called a legion. The Black Numbers. They were the strongest force of the Tempest Federation, and a symbol of fear. Or at least, widely known by generations to come. The moment the demons were freed from the growth capsules, the Black Numbers was born. Testarossa's white cheeks blushed as she muttered, enthralled. Ah, how interesting. As opposed to constantly playing the same game of corrupting nations, or fighting for supremacy with you guys, it's so much more fun observing that, Lord. Yeah, I think so too. Ultima voiced her support. Rather than torturing those naive demons, it'll be more interesting to work in this nation. Indeed, Carrera agreed with them both. Just like you guys said, Rimuru-sama is incredible. The menace I unleashed just then was like a child's play to him. It really made me feel excited, serving a lord like that. Now that he gave me a name, I have genuinely decided to pledge my loyalty to him, she affirmed, giving off a bright smile. I was planning to kill you then, you know. Diablo proclaimed, looking deadly serious. But he probably could tell that Carrera wasn't lying, so he had no intention of pursuing the matter any further with her. Seeing how Diablo was acting, Testarossa announced. By the way, Diablo. I have to thank you. When you first found me, I was actually intending to kill you. I know. You're that type of woman after all. I was greatly intrigued about why you would accept my proposal. Had it been you, you would have fought me until you were satisfied. The blunt Diablo knew was a real rebel and would never obey anyone else. Duels between demons were all about knowledge and techniques. Even though Diablo had evolved to a demon peer, he was still concerned regarding whether he could have won against Blanc or not. However, that uncertainty was part of the fun. Indeed, we are strong. Do you think there's anyone in this world stronger than us demons? No, Diablo answered Testarossa's question with a satisfied smirk. Her smile deepened as she continued. Right. That's why I became interested in your precious master, Diablo, someone who was capable of charming one of my kin, one of the strongest people in the world. Had he been too boring, I was planning to kill him on the spot. Me too, Ultima chirped. Even though I've already given up that thought, I did consider dueling him right there, Carrera added. Diablo smacked his mouth anxiously in response. It was commendable that you guys didn't embarrass me in front of Rimuru-sama. However, if any of you really were to have done that. Don't worry, Diablo. Similar to how you are proud of your name, I also took a liking to the name Testarossa Rimuru-sama gave me. I swore with this name to serve him. Don't you also think so, Ultima and Carrera? Just like what I said before. The three ladies nodded almost simultaneously. Diablo shook his head rather helplessly. Anyhow, apart from you three, all the other trash probably won't be of much help to Rimuru-sama. This unfortunately can't be helped. Just don't give me unnecessary trouble. You guys are not only answering to Rimuru-sama, but to me as well. You're the one who can't be helped, is what should have been my line. I suppose this is returning the favor for introducing us to Rimuru-sama. Fine, I don't object. All we have to do is to aid Rimuru-sama and eventually surpass you in status. But until then, I suppose I shall allow you to give us orders. Diablo was extremely anxious, but since the three agreed to obey his orders, he didn't press the issue any further. The number of people that Diablo tolerated could be counted on one hand. From that alone, you could tell just how special those three were to him. And so, unbeknownst to Rimuru, a chain of command was established. I'm not sure whether this conversation above really took place or not. While I was planning on having a nice peaceful day, Diablo whispered something to me. We had this conversation once before. Although these people are under my command, there's no telling what they will do. Although there's no need for Rimuru-sama to worry, please keep that in mind. Oh. Hey, what is this guy talking about? Aren't those three recruited by you? Well, there was no point in crying over spilled milk. All I wanted was to be happy and have a nice peaceful day. And now he dumped this unnecessary problem onto me. I was looking forward to new companions, you know. Never mind. I'm not sure how much of what he said was the truth. After all, they were under Diablo's command. He should take some responsibility at the end of the day. Employer responsibility. What's that? Can I eat it? So there's that. And so, I very casually tossed my problems for other people to handle.